Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we're going to be testing out lots of brand new drugstore makeup, and I actually have so many good things here and I'm super pumped about it. I love drugstore makeup, but you already knew that. So I have a new foundation here from Nyx, some new lashes, new bronzer, like literally everything. And then I also have this new brand here from Walmart called Carter Beauty that I am so excited to test out. So lots of good stuff. Make sure you grab a snack and subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and also hit the bell that way you're notified every single time I upload a new video, which is 3 times a week. So yeah, I hope you guys are having a wonderful week. Thanks for stopping by, and let's get into a full face of new drugstore first impressions. So we are starting off with eyeshadow, of course, and I have this new brand here called Carter Beauty, and this is the Warm Velvet 18 shade palette. It looks so good. I found this at Walmart. I believe it was like $12.99 or like around that price point, but like look at these shades. There's a really good mix here of mattes and shimmers too, which is really nice. So I want to do something very warm and smoky, and I think I want to do a little pop of color as well, like a pop of purple, because I do have some purple in this little dress, which, speaking of Walmart, this dress is from Walmart if you guys watched my Walmart haul. But anyways, I'm gonna start off with the color up here called Indulge. It's like a pretty kind of mauve tone shade. And I'm just, wow, okay, this is really pigmented. I like barely dipped my brush in the shadow. Wow. Okay, I'm just gonna apply this right here in the crease. I'm gonna go into the color right here called Prestige, and I'm gonna apply that on the outer crease. It's kind of like a reddish brown. Oh my gosh, this is so pigmented. Okay, I'm just gonna blend this out with the other brush. Colors are also blending in really nicely. Like I was a little bit like, whoa, like just thrown off by the pigment at first, but everything is blending really nicely together. Let's take a little bit of this color right here called Truffle. I'm just gonna take that truffle color. It's like a pretty brown, and I'm just gonna kind of add that also on the outer portion. It's kind of like dabbing it in there, like stippling it in really tiny little motions, because again, this palette is so pigmented. It's like crazy. I mean, I didn't expect it to be bad, but like, wow, this is like amazing quality. Let's try out this color right here called Overdressed. So I'm gonna see how it looks dry. There is a little bit of pigment. I'm gonna just dip my brush and then I'm gonna spray it. Yeah, so this isn't gonna give you like a shimmer kind of a look. It's really like a super, super light sheen. And there is some fallout. It doesn't bother me. I always like to mention it though, even though clearly you guys can see it on my face, but I always mention it. But if you are new, I am very heavy-handed. I always feel like whenever I'm filming, like every single person who's watching is like, you know, OG, like you guys have been here for years, but I know that's not the case. I'm sure that there's some new people, or maybe people who don't watch every single video. So let me know if you're like a newer subscriber or like an older subscriber. Let me know. Okay, this is pretty, but I feel like I need a little extra something, and I kind of wanted to do a little bit of like a kind of purpley vibe with this look. Like this is really pretty, but I want to add a little extra something. I'm gonna take this color called Excess. See, it's more of like a coppery kind of color, and that is a little bit lighter. So see, there's pigment, but the finish of these aren't like glittery, like super shimmery, but I still think it's really pretty because it's subtle, but the pigment is still there, which is nice. Okay, I don't know how this is gonna turn out. I'm gonna kind of wing it. Hopefully it doesn't like ruin the look, because I actually like how smoky and like sultry this is looking, but I want to add a little pop of purple. So these are from Profusion. They're the 5 shade glitter palettes. So I was super excited to see these in little palette forms, because normally their pressed glitters come in like their bigger eyeshadows, which I love. And they have a bunch of different colors, but I went with the purpley one because I love purples and pinks and in warm tones, you know, all that fun stuff. Which color do I want to do? I feel like the dark purple matches, but then also this light purple would match too. I don't know if the dark purple is like going to be too much. Let's try the dark purple. This glitter is a little chunkier, I feel like, than the glitters that they have in their palette. I feel like the glitters that they have in their palettes are a little bit like more smooth. Okay, I just wiped that off. Not a fan of the glitters. I had like a kind of a different vision for the look. I was like, I'm gonna do a little pop of purple glitter. It's gonna be really cute and simple, but I feel like this is a little bit too chunky. It was really difficult to kind of blend and like disperse onto the lid. I messed up because I brought it up a little bit too high and it was just really hard to blend, so I just took it off. Swatch the other ones. They actually feel pretty nice like on your finger, and then when you actually put them on, I feel like they just don't really look that great. I definitely like the glitters in their palettes. Honestly, as far as the glitters, I think this is the best one, like just based on the swatch and everything and just touching them. These other colors and even this one is really chunky and thick. So unfortunately, this for me is a dud. So we're gonna start over. Okay, let's pretend that didn't happen because, you know, it really didn't. So I have actually two different liners to test out. So I have the LA Girl Jetsetter liquid liner. I picked this up from Ulta, but you can also find LA Girl at CVS as well. And then from the same brand, Carter Beauty by Marissa Carter. By the way, I forgot to mention her name earlier, but this is the Supreme Gel Eyeliner, and this one's just in jet black. It's just a gel liner. So I figured we would test both of them out today and see how they look. And I'm just gonna do, ooh, a wing. I forgot like how creamy and pigmented gel liners are. Very easy to work with, like the formula of it, no complaints. And then on the other side, we're gonna test out the one from LA Girl. And this one is just in black. So this one is a nice felt tip. Ooh. Just gonna clean that up. And then for mascara, I'm gonna use the Carter Beauty After Dark Volumizing mascara. Not really getting a ton of volume with this mascara though. Definitely I'm getting separation though. Like it's adding something, but I don't see like a ton of volume. Okay, then for lashes, I found these at Walmart actually, and they look so good. These are the iEnvy 3D collection lashes, and these are in the style Iconic 13. Ooh, these are dramatic. Like for me, these are like intense, but they're pretty. I'm gonna use my handy dandy Kiss lash glue. All right, I'm gonna put the lashes on. Wow, these are pretty. I like these a lot. Okay, I'm in love with these lashes. They're so easy to apply, and I feel like they really like brought the look together, so I really like those. I have a new little 3-in-1 spray here. This one is from Essence. It is the Hello Good Stuff 3-in-1 face mist, hydrate, fix, and refresh with watermelon extract. I'm not a huge like watermelon person that much anymore because I feel like the scent sometimes it's a little bit too much, but this one is actually pretty light and it's not too overwhelming because I did spray my brush earlier and it wasn't like too much. So I'm gonna use this right now and then I'll use this later on to set my makeup. And then for primer, I'm gonna go in with the Pacifica Hemp Blur Pore Balancing Primer. So this is actually really interesting because it says silicone free, which I love, but it says it has hemp seed and potato pulp in it. And it says it's a breathable silicone free formula with plant powered skincare plus blurring benefits to create a canvas that extends your makeup. It kind of smells like green, like grass or something. It smells good. Ooh, it feels nice. Feels really nice on the skin. I actually like the smell of it. It's very like earthy. Okay, now for foundation. So I was at Walmart and I saw the NYX Total Control Pro Drop Foundation. So I know they came out with the drop foundation, I think like probably 4 years ago at this point. I do remember reviewing it on my channel and I wasn't crazy about it, but I believe this is different because it's the Total Control Pro. It had like a new display when I went into Walmart. So I got the shade Medium Olive because that's the shade that I'm in their Born to Glow foundation, which I love. So this is supposed to be a lasting, lightweight, sheer to medium coverage with a demi matte finish that looks true to skin. It looks a little bit different than their Total Control Drop foundation. That one had like a frosted glass packaging, I believe. And then I'm just gonna put this on. Oh wow, it feels like a serum. And for today, I'm gonna use my e.l.f. Total Face Sponge. Oh wow. Definitely has a matte finish, which I honestly like because I feel like a lot of skin tints these days are super dewy, and I know not everybody has dry skin or not everybody wants a dewy finish, especially my people out there who have super oily skin. I can imagine you probably don't want something super dewy on your face. Wow, it looks really nice though. I'm not crazy about the finish. For me personally, I like a dewy finish, but I feel like I could always alter the finish of it depending on what primer I use. Like maybe if I use something more dewy underneath. Oh no. It's kind of peeling a little bit around my nose and around my mouth. Kind of like around my nose. Like right here on the tip. Yeah, like when I touch my face, it's like balling up. I wonder if it's the primer or maybe the foundation. So there's only one way to find out. Okay, I just wiped that off. Let me put on a little lip balm because my lips are dry right now. You know what? I forgot to shake it. So maybe that has something to do with it as well, because I know the Rare Beauty foundation does that. If you don't shake it, it will ball up on your skin. So that was probably actually my fault. So I'm debating if I should just prime again and see if it does it, or maybe I can prime one side of my face with the Pacifica primer, and then we can see like if it balls up or not. And if it doesn't, that means it's because I did not shake the foundation, because I should have read the directions. All right, I'm gonna just blend this in with the other side of the sponge. It blends in really easily though, I have to say. It's so seamless. Okay, and then I'm gonna do the other side, and I'm gonna do a brush just to see how that looks. I think I like it more with a brush. Looks more matte with a sponge. Oh, nope, it's kind of peeling here on this side too. I don't know if you can see that right here. Kind of like peels as I touch my face. Yeah, no, it's just this side. It's so weird. I'm thinking maybe it is the primer. Not too sure what's happening here, but that's why I wanted to do the primer on one side to see if maybe the foundation was balling up because the foundation maybe just doesn't work with the primer, or because I didn't shake it up. Also, I like this more with a brush. I think it looks so much better. So with the foundation, you definitely have to shake it. And unfortunately, I don't think it works with this Pacifica primer for whatever reason. Yeah, it's not doing it now that I wiped that little spot on my cheek off. Not doing it on this side. It's not doing it on my nose or anything. This is one of those foundations that I'm definitely gonna have to keep testing out with different products, different primers, and see how it looks, how it wears. Let's move into concealer. I have a new one here from Hard Candy. This is their Glamoflauge Pro Full Coverage Concealer. I really love the Hard Candy Glamoflauge foundation, so when I saw this, I was super excited. I just picked this up actually like 2 days ago from Walmart. Oh wow, very interesting kind of applicator. It's kind of curved. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see, but it's like curved and really big. Oh, actually, I think this color is going to be perfect. I'm just gonna do that much, which is probably a lot. It feels thick and full coverage. I'm gonna do a little bit more just because I want a little bit more coverage right in here. Seems to be blending into the skin really nicely. It's kind of giving me Tarte Shape Tape vibes a little bit, but it's not as dry or like matte on the skin. I'm actually really loving this concealer. It is a little bit thicker, but it's super creamy. It blends into the skin really nicely, and it has great coverage. So I don't have a new powder, so today I'm just gonna use my COLLAB Ultra Fine Loose Setting Powder in Porcelain Ivory. Okay, then for bronzer, I actually have two different ones. So I have this new Hard Candy Just Glow matte bronzer with mango butter in it. This looks really good, and it's like a nice like warm tone bronzer. And then I also have a Carter Beauty palette here. This one is the Apollo bronzer palette. So this one's nice because you have 4 different bronzer shades. So they're all like different kinds of tones, and they look really, really pretty. So I'm gonna do one on one side, one on the other. Let's do these 2 colors right here, and I think these would be good if either as eyeshadows or if I was a little bit tanner. Looks really light, which I'm not mad about because I would rather have a bronzer that's like a little bit too light and you have to build up versus like too pigmented that it looks muddy on the face, because that has happened to me. I'm gonna dip into this color right here called Tinder. Again, very light, super natural. I think if you have fair skin, you would really like this palette. I like the color. The formula is really, really smooth. Just like their eyeshadows, I feel like they build up really nicely. It's nice and smooth on the skin. Okay, then on the other side, I'm gonna use the Hard Candy one. I'm gonna use a different brush. This one is not as pigmented, I feel like, as the one from Carter Beauty. You really have to build it up, and like I'm digging my brush in here. So just a little FYI. Then for blush, I have the Carter Beauty Cupid Blusher Palette. Let's do, I think this color matches really nice with today's look, and I'll mix in a little bit of this one. I like how wearable this stuff is. Still gives you, I think, the perfect wash of color, like with the bronzer and the blush. And then I like how you can always build it up if you want to do a little bit more. And then for a highlighter, I have this one from NYX. It's the Born to Glow Icy Highlighter. I picked this up at Walmart, actually. They had like a brand new display. So this is what it's looking like. So you can see this one right here, it looks a little bit glittery. But the reason I picked this up is because I thought this would make for such a pretty eyeshadow. Yeah, that's beautiful. So this one right here is like the regular highlighter, and this is the one that I would personally use as an eyeshadow because it's a little bit glittery. So I'm going to use this today. This is like a gorgeous like rose gold kind of bronzy highlighter. Ooh, that's so pretty. Wow, it's actually really smooth. It's not like chunky or like too much. I like this actually. All right, I'm actually gonna just use that like really sparkly color in the inner corners. I'm gonna dip my brush and I'm gonna spray it. See, yeah, this as an eyeshadow is like amazing. I'm honestly in love with the cheek products, especially all the products from Carter Beauty and then this NYX highlighter duo I love. The Hard Candy bronzer is okay. I wish it was a little bit more pigmented. So I'm just gonna finish up the lower lashes. I'm gonna pick up this color right here, Prestige. And I'm just gonna smudge that right there. This is the same color that I used in the crease. I'm also gonna take some of Truffle. I'm gonna put that right under there as well. And then I'm gonna use the LA Girl Pastel Dream Auto Eyeliner in Lavender just to line my waterline. Now for the lips, I'm gonna do a red lip because I wanna test this out, again from Carter Beauty. This is the Free Speech Lip Tint in Melanie. Okay, so this is what the color looks like. It's definitely a really bright, kind of almost has like an orangey tint to it, which I think is so pretty for summer, but it's a little bit too, I think, too much with this look because I have a red dress, red nails, but I wanted to show you guys the color. It's almost like a lip lacquer, like a super pigmented kind of a lip gloss sort of thing. It feels really nice. You can see it's definitely not kiss proof, so just a little FYI. If you're gonna be drinking, talking, I assume this is probably gonna come off throughout the day because it's not matte. So yeah, let me take this off. I guess I should have tried on the nude color first. I thought it was gonna be okay with this look, and I don't think it looks bad. I just feel like I have a lot of red going on. So this is the other color that I have. I also have a lipstick, which I think I'm gonna test this out. So this is the Word of Mouth Velvet Matte Lipstick in the shade Kris. Ooh. Oh, it smells like lavender essential oil. Okay, I am in love with this lip color. It is so creamy and comfortable on the lips. I really love this color too. I think it's a great everyday shade for summer. I'm really into like the peachy kind of tones, and this is perfect. It's also really creamy and super pigmented, so I really like it. The last and final thing that I'm gonna do is just set my makeup, and I'm gonna use that same essence spray that I was using earlier, and then we'll be all done with this look, which by the way, I really, really like. So we are all done with the look, which means it is time for speed reviews. So let's start off with the products that I wasn't super crazy about, which honestly aren't many. I definitely have more products in today's video that I love versus didn't love, which is always great. This Amethyst Gems palette, unfortunately, it's just too chunky, not wearable, and not easy to work with. I think really the only color that I like in here that I think is wearable is this light pink. This color is actually in the Mirage palette from Profusion, so I recommend getting that over this palette. Unfortunately, this is a dud, especially these darker colors right here. They are so chunky and just dry, so I'm very happy that I wiped that off and I did not keep that look going because it would have been a hot mess. So this hard candy bronzer would be like perfect, like great for every day if it had a little bit more pigment to it. It's such a nice color. I like the fact that it's matte. The formula seems to be really soft, but it just doesn't have that pigment that I want, and I was like really swirling and digging my brush in here. I mean, I don't mind building products up, especially when it comes to the cheeks, like I mentioned earlier. Sometimes it's a little bit easier to work with that way, but I feel like with this, the more that I was like swirling my brush in here and trying to build it up, I wasn't really getting that much color. So unfortunately, this is not pigmented enough, so I'm gonna pass on that. I'm not too crazy about the Carter Beauty mascara. It was pretty lengthening. It's not the worst mascara that I've tried, but it's definitely not my favorite. This LA Girl liquid liner also was one of those products where it wasn't bad, but I have other favorites that I prefer, and if I had to choose between this liner and the one that I tested out today from Carter Beauty, I would go with the one from Carter Beauty for sure. I'm noticing that this essence spray, it's really nice. It feels refreshing on the skin, but it's also a little bit sticky. Like I feel like my chest is sticky from just like the spray kind of flying everywhere, and I didn't realize that I used up that much product already. Like that is crazy. That's how you know I'm like so heavy-handed with my sprays, but I feel like I went through that pretty quickly and I didn't even really realize it. But if I'm being honest with you guys, I definitely prefer their other sprays that they have. Like they have a primer spray and like a regular setting spray that I like over this one. Plus, if you're not a big fan of watermelon, you're not gonna like this. Not that the scent is too strong, but you definitely smell it when you first spray it. So I would choose their other sprays over this one personally. And then the NYX foundation, I actually really like the way that it looks now. At first I was a little skeptical about it because the matte finish, but it feels really comfortable. It doesn't feel drying. I don't know what was up with that whole like balling up and everything. I think it was maybe the primer that I used from Pacifica, but I'm gonna keep using both of these products separately with other products that I love. Like I'll use this foundation with other primers that I like, and then I'll use this primer with other foundations that I like, and I'll let you guys know my thoughts in upcoming videos. But as of right now, my kind of first impression is that this foundation does not work with this primer for whatever reason. Everything else I'm in love with. I love this brand Carter Beauty, minus the mascara. I think everything else that I used is amazing. This eyeshadow palette is to die for. The colors are super creamy and blendable, and I love the color story in here. The bronzer and blush palette from Carter Beauty, I love. These are really nice because you can build them up or you can tone them down if you want to do a really light wash of color on your face. This bronzer palette, I was actually really surprised because at first I thought I wasn't going to get a ton of color, but the more that you build it up, the more of a bronzy look you're going to get. So it just depends on the brush you're using and how much product you actually want on your face. It's a good formula too. And then same with the blush palette. It's so light, but it's so pretty. I used a little bit and I felt like I got the perfect flush on the cheeks. I also love this little highlighter duo from NYX. I feel like these would double up great as eyeshadows or even as highlighters like I used today, but I especially love this little glitter shade for the inner corners. It is stunning. And love the lip products also from Carter Beauty. I love the gel liner. These lashes are so beautiful from Walmart. Check these out. Well, I got them at Walmart, but the brand is iEnvy 3D Collection. 20 out of 10. So good. I also love the hard candy concealer. This was so creamy and pigmented, and I think the coverage is amazing. So I think this is going to be a really good Tarte Shape Tape dupe for their new, I think it's called the Ultra Creamy Concealer. I feel like this is going to be a good dupe for that. But yeah, there's some really great products in today's video. Definitely check these out if you're looking for some new drugstore makeup products to try. And if there's any other drugstore makeup you guys want me to test out, let me know down below in the comments. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for being here and for hanging out with me today. I love you guys, and I'll see you very soon in my next video. Bye.